board, and we'll go from there. So, hi guys, I am Catrina Scott, and tonight I'm going to be talking to you all about recruiting and how to do it with confidence. This topic has really sparked my interest, especially in the last 3 months, because when I was reviewing the Elite Point earnings and how to earn, I realized that it all depended on my 2018 coaches. Well, that doesn't work well when you only recruit a coach a month, if that. Really hard to earn points in that category. So I created this PowerPoint today after one of our amazing masterminds, and it's a combo of all the groups I'm in, from our West region, 5 to 8 star diamonds, our 10-star push, and just a couple other little groups I'm in that we kind of mastermind together outside of our corporate calls. And I think if we can duplicate this process, we can all be out there recruiting with confidence and hopefully building our teams. So I'm going to screen share here with you. And of course, my PowerPoint isn't showing in my options. So let me try again. Sometimes it has to do that. Let's see. Can you guys see it? You see my PowerPoint? Yeah, it's up. Recruiting with confidence. Okay, thank you. So recruiting with confidence. Kind of went over what we're going to be talking about with that being said. So the importance of building a team. The 5 things that come to my mind first, these are 4 things. They're going to be different for all of you guys. But mine is community. When I found this business, most of you know, my gym had just closed. I never thought I could work out in front of a TV. But also I had a newborn. Well, he was an infant. He was a couple months old at that time. But to me, that was a newborn. I had no idea that I could no longer grab my purse and go, that everything needed a plan. And my husband was living in Fresno, which is like 10 hours away. So for me, once I knew I needed to work out due to this crazy health scare. But for me, what kept me here, because you can ask Melissa, there were a lot of ups and downs as far as really starting to engage and work the business. What kept me here was the community. When my husband was gone and things were awry, these ladies and gents were who I leaned on to help get me through all the chaos of what being a new mom means. And you know, I have a degree in business, so that is something that the business side wasn't always a leading factor for me, but community was. And so when you think about building your team and this huge vision of what you would want one day, granted, I signed as a discount coach because I honestly couldn't tell my husband I paid $100 for a shake a month. No matter what it did to my body, I knew he would be a huge skeptic. So when you think of that big picture, whether you're just a discount coach and you want to help a few people, or you want to grow a huge organization, and believe me, that vision changes over time. Like I said, I started as a discount coach and the structure kept changing. I'll just be an emerald to pay for my product. You know what? I'll just go ruby. And there's very few coaches in our network that actually hit all of the rungs, but I can proudly say I literally would call Melissa up and say, what's next? And she'd say, ruby. She's the one that, or emerald, ruby, whatever the next thing was. And she literally was the first person to tell me, like, girlfriend, you are a sneeze away from diamond. And at that point, I joined a diamond push. And once I went diamond, it was like diamond to 5-star in a dead sprint. So when I think of structure, I want you guys to think of, like, not your right and left legs or, you know, the structure of the business. I want you to think of the structure of the team, because I want my structure to be like church without the religious component. Like, I want you guys to show up, and I want everybody to be supportive and have the common goal. And I mean, I guess you could say the common worship of Beachbody, right? But not that we worship it, but you get my gist. And then it was never a real huge importance for me because I'm very blessed that my photography business is so successful that income was never the importance of building my team. But once I saw what the community did and, the structure of helping others and how that came into play, I was adamant about duplicating that process. And I wanted to help one more person, 2 more people, 5 more people every month, to where Success Club was not even a non-negotiable. It happened organically. And when it became time to open my second business center after hitting 2-star, it was like the income started happening of like, I'm making more money at this side hustle, as we call it, than I was in corporate America selling commercial insurance, working 60 hours a week in my full-time, using my degree business, okay? So if income is your thing, and even if it's not, if it's your 3rd or 4th importance and, important point, it's a huge part of building the team. Because when you benefit, everybody below you benefits as well. And so that leads me back to support. And it's a little different than community, because in support, let me tell you guys something. When I don't want to do it and I don't want to show up, I still do, but there is a team of like-minded people to pick up the slack, to help you out. And a great example of this is usually this time of year, Melissa can vouch for this, it's my wedding season. This weekend will be 9 straight weekends of weddings without a day off, not to mention the 90 hours of editing that goes on in between. No sleep. I usually pull completely back from the business, and you do not see me for 3 months, and Melissa carries the team. I decided as a leader, that's not what I need to do. I can lean on you guys for support, but it's not fair now that my organization is getting so large to push the buck. But anybody else coming up through the ranks, maybe a 1-year coach or, a 3-year coach or wherever you are in your journey, know that we will always support you. And that is the importance of finding your tribe and building your team around people you want to do business with, okay? So there's probably going to be questions, especially because my thing's kind of scattered because it's how I roll, but put them in the chat. I don't even have it up while I'm screen sharing, but put them in the chat and I'll definitely address them. I'm just trying to move quickly to get through the content. So when you are a coach and you are going to be a recruiter, okay, a top recruiter, you have to ask yourself who you are. And the main thing, anybody that has followed my journey or my business, is the first thing I'm going to ask you is, are you proof the product works? And I don't just mean, do you work out and do you drink a shake? Because if you haven't tried the ultimate reset or the 3-day refresh or our bars, or I don't even know if we still sell face wash, but what I'm telling you is, if you aren't educated in what we can offer our clients, you are not proof these products work. So at the end of the day, I'm not saying you have to do every single program in our library because, Turbo Jam might not be your thing. But you really need to engage and indulge in what our products do. If you're not familiar with the performance line, you're missing out. Our bars, the ultimate reset, the 3-day refresh, our bag of tricks, a lot of people call them tools, but no, they're tricks, is absolutely astounding. We have so many things to offer that you need to be testimonial that they work. So if you haven't done them, put them on your list. Make a goal guide of what you need to do in your business, to show that all these different types of tricks work, right? And another thing you need to ask yourself is, are you inspiring? And this is not necessarily something that just shows up, right? Like, it's kind of a learned behavior, but it's super simple to kind of guide or lead the way in that. It's okay to be raw and real, but don't post negativity all the time. Like, you need to go back and check your verbiage, check your social media, which is, that's mostly how we work our businesses. And inspiring, for me, I get told all the time how inspiring I am. One, because I'm a hot mess and I can still get it done. I get told how the heck do you run 2 businesses, have 2 kids, and your husband's gone 98% of the time, and you still have time to brush your teeth and comb your hair every day? Because there's days where I ask myself, it's 6 o'clock and I'm just brushing my teeth. Like there are days like that. And so find your inspiration and what you're inspiring others to do. Like, I'm a no BS kind of person. I'm going to show up no matter what. I do this for me, and it just so happens that organically I was able, to lead people into their transformations and into their health and fitness journey. So really gut check yourself on what you're doing to inspire others to keep going. You could just be a total business mom or full-time, whatever you do, nurse. I have a lot of nurses, or whatever, your side business, whatever you got going, and you only work this business an hour a day and you're killing it. That's inspiring. That's more inspiring to me than my own story. So check yourself on where and who you're inspiring. The other thing is, are you confident and competent? Okay, so these are 2 major different things, okay? Confidence. You need to speak with confidence. You need to speak like you own it. And the way you do that is education. You have to educate yourself. If I go into a conversation with someone and I've already met all their rebuttals, there's nothing more for them to refute about the product. I mean, I even have the objection on price pretty much dialed in at this point, but I'm like, no. And the only way you can go in and be fully confident in something is to know what you're talking about. And it's in your tone, and it's how you deliver your message. You have to be confident. And what I always go back to is the confidence of how I felt when I completed my first program. And my body was changing, and I was ripped, or whatever you want to say, like when I share my befores, I was 160 pounds on this little frame. Like, I normally weigh 124. Was I confident then? No. Did I know how to talk and speak confident? No. So I guess what I'm telling you is you've got to kind of try to learn to sell ice to an Eskimo. If you believe in your product and you are confident that it works, it should be a no objection sale, because you're so confident in what it does, right? And that's where people relate it all the time to the product sells itself, because it does. And then competent, you can't be on your social media all over the place. And I don't mean like a hot mess. Like, you just have to have your stuff somewhat together, right? And I don't even like to use systems, so I hate to say that, but you need to know what you're talking about. You need to know, a great one that we come across all the time is like, can you breastfeed and do the ultimate reset or the 3-day refresh? Or, if you don't know the answer, that's okay. But a competent person would say, hey, ask your doctor. Or put it out there. Hey guys, my customer is asking X, Y, and Z, because we all come up with different things, and things that don't really relate to us, especially like if you're not a mom. But no, there's no way you're going to go calorie deficit when you're breastfeeding. I mean, there's just 1,000 different things. That's just one example. But make sure when you're selling ice to the Eskimo that you're not blowing smoke. There's a big difference. You have to be competent in what you're doing. So a lot of people look at you and say, are you successful in the business? And this can be a difficult one, because you have to have people underneath you and part of your organization in order to be successful. But how do you start there, and how do you get there? It's celebrating the small wins and granted, when there's like 500 people in your downline, I'm guilty of this. If there's a small win and you're my coach, or, Melissa's coach, or anyone 5 levels deep, it doesn't really matter. Just say, hey guys, can someone go give me a shout out for hitting Success Club this month, or for advancing to Emerald? Like, not always are we on top of what's happening in everybody's coaching career. So to show you're successful in the business, sometimes you have to ask for that glory. But make sure you highlight every time. Like today, I just went live on Instagram, like for the first time, because I got my Beat My Best medal. I'm not comfortable doing that, but it was real. It was raw. And it's showing people that, damn, she's got some skin in the game and she's committed to this. And it's not about the income forming. It's about honestly helping people. So by showing that I'm having little milestones, whether that was only signing 3 coaches or 4 coaches, you know, they're not huge things in the business, but showing that I'm having success somewhat regularly shows people that I'm not going anywhere and they want to come to you, right? So the other thing is you have to be relatable. You know, Melissa does this, I think, super awesome and well, that we're all a hot mess. We all just hide it differently, okay? And she comes out and shows it all without shame. I'm the one that's like, oh my God, my kid, he threw a shoe out the window. I'm not about to put that on social media. But you know what? You know how many other moms have probably had their kid throw their shoe out the window? It's okay. And in order to be likable and relatable, sometimes you kind of have to, I don't want to say eat crow, but you kind of have to be the butt of the joke sometimes, or make a joke. Her post the other day, Melissa I'm talking about, just killed me. We're in the middle of a flash sale. It's back to school week. And you moms out there you can not only relate, but you are in love with her for the fact that she posts on there that she made it out of the house with her pants on inside out. And anyone that's gone through first week of school can totally tell you, I don't even know how I lived through those first 3 days. Thank God they don't start on Monday because this girl ain't making it 5. And I can't even tell you how many times I've made it to the gym with not only my pants on inside out, but backwards. Everyone's like, what's going on with this girl? So we all can relate. And that's what I'm like, but what's awesome about her is her following's growing because she's relatable, she's likable, and she shares it. You know, I'm the one that's like, oh God, I'll text my girlfriend and just leave it at that. And it's okay to share it. Another thing was like Jessica Crabtree had a great one too the other day. She sent me a text and said, I just thought since, you know, we're both a mama boys, our husbands are gone all the time, I thought you'd get a great laugh out of this. And those are things that you need to share when you're comfortable on your social media because there's 5,000 other moms out there in that same sinking boat, okay? It's just how fast we row to keep afloat. So the other thing, once you're relatable and likable, is do you create the atmosphere of success? And that's a tough one as well when you're starting out. But you want to always be giving shout outs to your new coaches, your seasoned coaches, anybody along the way on your personal page, on your stories, however you want to market it. But you want to create that atmosphere that when people visit you, they're like, dang, she is just working this business like nobody's business, right? She's just got all this success. And it could just, people don't know what Success Club is when we put that on there. So you can just do small jabs of like, you know, there's Maddie out there killing her business. So glad she's part of my team. And people are like, what business? You know, you have to use the, what's that marketing called? Oh my God, you guys know I'm having a blank, but curiosity marketing. Yep, curiosity marketing. You have to create the atmosphere of like, without being cocky, so you got to kind of balance the tables there, that you are so successful in this that people want to join you. And you do that by shouting out your small successes. And this can be anything. And if you don't have coaches, guess what? You do that with customers. Because how it works is our best coaches were once customers and challengers. So that's how you do it. If it's, oh my God, this woman lost 20 pounds or 5 inches, I don't care what it is, constantly, that should be one post daily at least of creating that success within your atmosphere of what you're doing. Okay, guys? So all those points come rounding into one of like, okay, great, I'm being an awesome coach. How do I sell that lifestyle to everybody without saying, I'm a Beachbody coach and this is what I do, right? So you show your love for the products, and it's all of our products, okay? The main thing right now is like Daily Sunshine was on sale. My kids are in love with it, which it's cheaper than Shakeology and it keeps them out of my shake. You bet I'm going to promote, you know, and I have to kind of use Daily Sunshine specifically, not necessarily the name. I say pediatrician approved a lot because I need to differentiate that there's one for me and one for them. Okay. And that goes, you know, everybody knows our mom crack, our liquid gold, we call it. You have to show that in your daily stuff, your daily stories and your daily activities, that how much you love these products, that like we can't live without them. They're a priority, so therefore we budget to make those things happen. And where a lot of us fall short is we don't really show our love of coaching, okay? Because there's 100 different ways to show that love. And the way I found that works the best is I like to show my love of coaching, of my freedom, my flexibility, okay? Of how this morning's post was perfect. You know, I'm not only the mom that has to go through the drop-off line and boot my kid out the door, I get to park, get my other little guy out, walk him halfway across the schoolyard, and have him not hang his backpack up and do his goodbye there, opposed to that, get out, I have to go to work. I mean, I'm granted, we all have to do that at some point, but I share like the opportunity and the flexibility and the freedom that not even my photo business gives me. I'm still a slave to my client, you guys, in my photo business, right? And deadlines and everything that I have to show up when they want me to. Not with coaching, you guys. I show up every day, but it's on my time. And that is how you can showcase how you love it. And maybe that's not, yours is a side gig, and you know, you get to just show your love for coaching and that you're helping other moms start their journey. Whatever your love of coaching is, do that, okay? So the next thing is a good friend of mine in my very first Diamond Push, Katie Green, described selling the coaching opportunity as the best job interview of your life. So I want you to think about it like this. If you just went to your dream job interview, right? It's everything you've ever wanted. It's the amount of money you want to make. It's the amount of vacation you want to have. It's flexible. You love your boss. You love your coworkers, right? You love everything about this job. I don't even care what it is, okay? But at the end of the day, you get home from this job interview and you are almost positive you got that job, and you sit down with your spouse or your best girlfriend or your mom or whoever you talk to, and you're like, I just had the most amazing job interview. Not only do I love my boss, but I love everyone I work with. Everyone's so inspiring and positive. And, you know, we have a gym at work, you know, like Steve Jobs had at Apple, whatever it is, whatever you would tell your spouse, that's what you need to be sharing in your business, because that is what connects you to what people want out of their job. If it's 2 weeks vacation is what most people get, right? It's like, well, I'm on vacation all the time. I just get to work while I'm there. Okay, that's my kind of job. I want to get paid to travel. I want to get paid to work out. Well, that's what we're doing. So if you can tie those amazing things from your best job interview in to how you're going to sell your coaching opportunity, you guys, people are going to have FOMO like it's nobody's business. And that is how you have to sell the coaching lifestyle, that it's something they cannot live without, that they're going to miss out tremendously if they don't get in on this opportunity, right? So as we're building our Instagrams and our Facebook and we're doing all these crazy things and we're creating healthy relationships with people outside of Beachbody, which is like our normal, you know, everyday tasks of how we're finding people, and we tell them how cute their kids are, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You guys know that. We're not talking about building our network. That's all amazing. But first and foremost, you better be doing that with your coaches, people. You better be doing that with your current customers, because if you're not loving on your customers, they're never going to convert to coach. And if you're not doing that to your coaches, they're never going to build. Okay? It's building those healthy relationships. And you can ask anyone who has a decent sized network. Melissa will vouch for me on this. That is not fake for me. You are always my friend first, because when Melissa and I got started, we did not know each other from Adam. She was a photo client. She told me about this opportunity. I signed up for it. There were 5 times probably that I was like, I got to quit. I can't do this. And at the end of the day, she was like, whatever you got to do, I'm here for you first. What are you going through that you want to quit, you know? And through the years, we're almost at our 5-year mark, you have to create that with your people if you want longevity and if you want them to grow. So please, please, please do not just focus on growing your network. Work with the people you have and love on them hard. Okay, so we're almost out of time. So the last 2 slides, I'm going to try to go super, super fast. Otherwise, I'll just have to do a video of the last slide and throw it in there, but I will put this PowerPoint up. So your verbiage, you have to be very, very careful about what comes out of your mouth. It needs to be positive. I don't want to say all the time and be positive Polly, but you have to work on what you're saying. Do not say, I think you will succeed, or you should, or yeah, it's kind of an okay product. No, you have to believe in that. You have to say, I know you'll get results, and you will see results. You will succeed with this program. And you have to believe what you're saying. If you don't believe it, they see right through it, okay? They just, next thing, we'll buy Unique instead. Whatever. You need to believe in what you're doing, and you need to believe in your product, and you need to believe that it works. And I don't know if you guys saw my last transformation from Rachel McCam. She lost like 70 pounds. I believe it works because I've seen it, okay? So get one of those transformations, get a client that you can use over and over that you know, and believe it, and teach others to believe what you're doing. We go back to the confidence thing. You have to speak with the utmost confidence. There's no ifs, ands, or buts going on here, guys. You have to speak with your stuff like it's nobody's business. And then the only way you can do that is if you educate yourself. We have a plethora of resources. Our back office, and when Melissa and I started, it was a shell, and all we had was Google. Now there's YouTube videos, there's podcasts, there's everything you can imagine. And in the compensation training from Diesel Nation, Becky is just my favorite person on the planet, man. She's like, anything I ever needed to know, I referred to the comp plan. Why? Because that's how you make money. So if you're not educating yourself within the comp plan and everything of how to make money and how to make this business work, you're missing out. So go back and educate yourself so that you can educate your coaches. You have to see the vision. And when I mean vision, you have to see the big picture, right? Like, yeah, I was a discount coach, and now I'm going for a 10-star superstar by next summit. Those are big things. The only way to like paint that picture for yourself, right, is you have to literally manifest it. You're all going to think I'm crazy, but you need to wake up every morning and tell yourself, I am a 15-star superstar coach that attracts other superstar coaches, okay? You have to like see it. You have to believe it, and you have to paint that vision. When we were all little girls, like, you envisioned your wedding day, or I did. You envisioned your house, with a picket fence. You envisioned that at a young age. You're taught that. So don't stop now for this stage of life. Keep envisioning where you want to be, whether it's that big house on property, whatever it is. You have to envision that to get there. And then that leads, manifest it, just goes right with it. But you have to get over those limiting beliefs. I hear it all the time from my coaches that are like, I don't know if I can do it. I'll try. Well, I don't recruit like you. I'm not, whatever. Get rid of all of that, because you can do it. We're watching girls in this business 6 months in making the Millionaires Club. You guys, you can definitely do this, but you have to get over those limiting beliefs. And if it means digging super, super deep to figure out why you have that limiting belief, it's time to do it. And you do that with personal development. And I'm going to tell you, I loved Girl Wash Your Face. She's amazing. Rachel Hollis, love her. But that's a feel good personal development book. I want you guys to go out and get a business personal development book. I want you to read Get Over Your Damn Self. I listened to that on Audible, and I had to buy it because I was like taking notes and highlighting. And she literally gives you the system of how to put the business first and how to recruit. And she's a Mary Kay lady. We can do way better than makeup, you guys. We have a need, okay, that needs to be met. A makeup is not a need. But anyway, I'm not comparing businesses. I'm just saying she did it with Mary Kay. Go get that book. Okay. The last thing, you are the boss, okay? You guys hear it all the time. You are your own CEO. I get it. But you are in control of where your business goes and what your business does. don't say, well, I didn't catch the call, or you didn't do a team call, or this. Absolutely not. Those are excuses. You're in control of your business. You have every resource, including the Diesel Nation Academy, to be in control of your business and learn how. We didn't have very amazing mentors or like Zoom and all these things when we started. And look where we are. So you're in control, and it's time you take ownership of that, okay? A huge thing, and it's a major statistic in business and why employees are such a hard thing to have, is anyone you bring onto this business is only going to do half of what you do. So you need to wake up every single day and ask yourself, am I doing enough that if my coaches only did half, is it enough to make them successful? Okay? If my coaches are only doing half of what I'm doing, am I doing enough to make them successful? That's a gut check moment, you guys. Because most of you, because I know for me, I'll be honest, my answer is no in the morning. No, I could have done this. I could have done that. I could have helped here. I could have done this. So if you want to be successful and you want to recruit and you want to push, you better double your efforts, okay? Because your coaches are only going to do half of what you do. It's kind of crazy. And eventually you'll get some business builders that will double what you're doing. But to start out, when you're recruiting and you're trying to build that strong structure, you've got to check where you're at with your input, okay? So here's a great one. Find your strong points. Melissa and I are a perfect example for this, because when we first started, she was tenacious, or she was Team Fierce and I was Team Tenacious. Now, she was awesome on the business side. It wasn't my strong point in that all my business energy was being put into my photography business. My strong point was working out, the nutrition. Like, I got the challenge group thing. That's my jam. So when we combined teams, it was like, I'm going to use your strong point and you're going to use my strong point, and together we're going to be effing amazing. Okay? So I encourage you guys to focus on your strong points and find someone that you can pair up with, either as a Success Club partner to run challenge groups with, whatever it is, that mirrors your weak points, okay? So that you guys can work together. This is why it's such a team aspect. That's why we are called Team Beachbody. We do this together. And I don't care if you're teamed up with 9 people. Guess what? You have 9 strong points now. Work on. Okay, so my next thing is educate your followers on what coaching is. We do a great job of educating our coaches on what coaching is. But if you could use your social media and your Instagram stories and everything you do to educate your followers on what coaching is, it is that FOMO thing again, and they're not, as opposed to if you watched Jeanette's video last night, when you send them a thing like, hey, would you be interested in watching this video? They're like, yeah, because what you do is pretty cool, If you're doing plugs within your social media all the time, that's going to be awesome. Okay, I have a minute left, so my last thing is, this business is a decision, okay? I don't want to hear, I'm not diamond because, no, it's a decision. If you want to be diamond, guess what? You're going to be diamond. You need to take ownership of your business and who you are and how you want to run it and where you want to be. And if you make that decision, I guarantee you it will happen, but you have to take that step in making the decision. It starts with you because you are the boss. Woo! I did it with a minute, so it's probably going to cut off on you. So if you have questions, I haven't even had a chance to check the chat, but I'll post the replay for you guys, and I'll get these slides up as soon as possible. There wasn't much there, but it was mostly to keep me on track, okay? So I love you all. If you have any other questions on recruiting, I am here to help you because I got that damn medal in the mail. Anyway, I hope you have a fabulous evening. And Maddie, good luck on your sneak peek tonight. And I hope that this was helpful in getting out there and recruiting like a boss. You have the confidence to do it, guys. Okay, talk to you later.